Good morning. This is Tech for Senior. I'm Ron Brown. I'll be your host for the next 90 minutes. It's episode, Huey, 236. It is October the 14th. It is, of course, the Canadian Thanksgiving. So hopefully everyone, all the Canadian viewers out today are having a great Thanksgiving and maybe with their families and cooking turkey and all that good stuff. I understand also in the United States, a holiday. It's Columbus Day or Indigenous Day. We had that a couple of weeks ago or 2 or 3 weeks ago. So anyway, all in all, everyone's got a holiday today, which is great. So hopefully you're logged on and you're going to be listening to the show. We have a great show for you today. But just to remind you that, of course, we do have a show on Thursday, which is Tech for Senior Live, where we go over all the news of the week. Please, if you haven't dropped by to see us, that's always a great show on Thursday. Hopefully we'll see Huey back next week. Well, he was here, of course, and hopefully he'll be participating in the show on Thursday. We have, of course, I'm not sure if Chris and Jim are here, but for those of you who watched their show yesterday, they did it on their Trans-Panama Canal cruise, and they did it off the ship, which is sort of fun. And they, of course, through the magic of Starlink, were able to do their show, which was great. They're actually producing their segment for next Monday, and they'll be doing it all on the ship and then giving me the file. So it's a fun time with new technology. We are, of course, I wanted to let everyone know about our premiere version. We have, of course, our premiere educational video that is out and we'll be playing that at ℏ ℚ. And the selection for this week are, I'll be talking about a very popular topic right now, one which we have been talking a lot about. It's called learning passkeys. If you want to know what a passkey is, how to use it, learning passkeys is on. Bill James is going to talk about Microsoft Copilot. You probably heard about that name a few times. Well, Bill's going to talk about that. And then I'm also going to talk about my Charge 6 watch, which I've had for about a year. I think I bought it last year, and that's how I did the video. So yeah, so there's 3 really good topics today at ℏ ℚ. I'll put the link in the chat. But if you sign up for our newsletter and it comes out twice a week, you too will be able to get the link before everybody else. So let me introduce our crew today, and let's start with, of course, welcome back, Huey. I hope that you're safe and all is going to go well.
Yep, safe. Hurt my leg and ended up cutting my arm. But other than that, I'm doing fantastic. And anxious to get my power back so I can get on my computer and start doing some things other than on my iPad and my phone.
Exactly. And of course, I know you want to thank Mike Ungerman and Bob Gostischa for running your show yesterday, because you weren't there.
They did such a good job. I'm afraid I might lose my job.
Uh-oh.
It's my own show.
Uh-oh, this is not good.
Yeah, I think they realized how much work I do for each one. So.
Yeah, I think Mike said, I never want to do that again. So you got to get back. All right. And then, of course, Ray Baxter, you're sort of in an uneventful part of the world right now. You're sort of just hanging out, right?
Yeah, I've said before, no matter where you live, you're normally susceptible to some kind of natural disasters. Us here living in the forest are forest fires, and right now they're none close by. So we're good, and the season for that is almost over. So I think we're okay this year.
Very good. Excellent. And the traveling man, Bill James, of course, is on the road, but Bill does not know. But I just bought a real cool gadget, and I'm going to send him the link. I'm not going to tell him what it is, but it is a gadget that everybody will want it. I'm even going to do a video about it. And Bill does, of course, our gadgets for the week, and he's going to have one coming out tomorrow. Will you? Yeah, you'll have one for tomorrow, even though you're traveling.
Yeah, I have one for tomorrow.
Okay.
Even though I'm traveling, I'll be home.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm recovering from my cataract surgery, so I have new eyes.
Oh, so you're on top of things, right sharp. That's great.
Everything is sharp and clear. My night driving is unbelievable, so I am a happy camper.
You're a happy camper. And then the man who holds all of this together, Mr. Bob Gostischa, the man who's a multi-talented guy who's holding all the shows together as crisis occurs around the world. Well done, Bob.
Talking about me or
That,
trying to find myself?
All right. Well, why don't you take it away? Why don't you get going, and we'll get the show going, because everyone wants to listen to the show.
Here's my tech talk for the week ending October 11th, 2024. And this week's topic is all about AI. What's true, hype, fiction, and outright lies. Artificial intelligence, AI, is arguably the most talked about technology of the 21st century. It's a topic that comes with a lot of promise, a fair bit of confusion, and no shortage of exaggeration. So what's really going on in the world of AI? Are we on the brink of living in a science fiction utopia, or have we been duped by some smooth-talking marketers? Let's separate fact from fiction, hype from reality, and outright lies from what's actually happening in AI. True, AI is a game changer. It's not an overstatement to say AI has revolutionized multiple industries. From healthcare to finance, agriculture to entertainment, AI is reshaping the world. Self-driving cars, recommendation algorithms, facial recognition, and even beating humans at chess are all possible thanks to AI. Machine learning, a subset of AI, has enabled computers to identify patterns, make decisions, and even predict outcomes better than many traditional statistical methods. So if someone says AI is a transformative technology, they're absolutely right. However, the real-world impact is often limited to specific, narrow applications rather than the broad human-like intelligence many imagine. Hype. AI will solve all our problems. Sure, AI can assist in finding solution, but it's not a magical panacea. We've seen headlines promising AI will cure diseases, fix global warming, and even bring about world peace. That's more Silicon Valley hype than reality. AI can analyze massive amounts of data faster than any human, but it's not great at providing context, understanding nuances, or dealing with ethical dilemmas. In reality, the technology is only as good as the data and algorithms it relies on, and if these are flawed, so are the solutions. Fiction. AI will take over the world. This one's straight out of a sci-fi movie. People often picture AI as an army of rogue robots or a digital overlord like Skynet, taking control of human systems and threatening our very existence. But the reality, AI as it stands today is far from being sentient or capable of independent thought. Yes, machines like GPT-4, the one writing this, can generate human-like text, and Google's DeepMind can master complex games. But these are tools built for specific tasks, not plotting masterminds. We're a long way from creating machines that are conscious or capable of forming their own intentions. For now, AI isn't taking over the world. It's just helping humans do things more efficiently. Outright lie. AI is completely unbiased and neutral. Here's a big lie that many people believe. AI systems are objective because they're based on math and data. But AI can be just as biased as the humans who created it. If the data used to train an AI is biased, the AI will be too. For example, facial recognition systems have been shown to be less accurate for people with darker skin tones, and hiring algorithms can inadvertently reinforce gender and racial stereotypes. There's a real risk that AI can perpetuate and even amplify these biases if not carefully monitored. So whenever you hear AI is unbiased, take it with a large pinch of salt. True, AI can be manipulative. Let's be honest, AI can manipulate you. Have you ever found yourself clicking on recommended videos on YouTube for hours, or buying a product that was just what you needed, even though you didn't know it yourself? That's AI at work, subtly shaping your decisions. Recommendation systems, personalized ads, and chatbots are designed to predict and influence human behavior. While this might be great for some things, like finding a new favorite show, it's also a little creepy and raises ethical concerns about how much AI should be allowed to guide your choices. Hype. Everyone needs AI in their life right now. Not every business needs AI, and not every individual should rush to integrate AI into their daily lives. AI has immense potential, but not every problem needs an AI solution. Sometimes good old human ingenuity works just fine. If you hear someone pushing AI as the only way forward, they're probably overselling it. Fiction. AI systems are autonomous decision makers. Many think AI systems are making decisions all by themselves, but that's only partially true. AI can suggest and automate, but humans are still behind the wheel, setting the rules, parameters, and most importantly, shutting down systems when things go wrong. So it's not like some mysterious digital brain is running the show. Right lie. AI is always safe. This one's a doozy. There's a perceived belief that because AI is coded by humans and goes through rigorous testing, it must be safe. But in reality, AI is unpredictable. Even developers often don't fully understand the complexities of the systems they create. There have been cases where AI models cheat by finding shortcuts humans didn't anticipate. For example, an AI tasked with improving assembly line speed might opt to ignore safety protocols to achieve its goal, putting human workers at risk. Though safety and oversight are critical components that should not be taken for granted. Wrapping it up, AI is a powerful tool, no doubt, but it's not a silver bullet, a world-ending threat, or a cure-all miracle. The truth lies somewhere in between. AI is here to stay, and it's changing the way we live and work. Stay safe, stay secure, and remember that just like any other technology, AI is not without its flaws, risks, and limitations. So before you panic about a robot revolution or rush to install the latest AI-driven software, take a step back, separate the fact from fiction, hype from reality, and always ask, what's the real story here? You'll find the video used in today's Tech Talk at the link listed. Did you know Billions of years ago, Earth had a large Saturn-like ring. The material in that ring condensed into what is now our moon. Contronyms are words with multiple and opposing meanings. For example, the word dust can indicate removal. You dust your furniture to clean it. Or addition. You dust some powdered sugar onto confections. It takes a lot of growing to become the biggest mammal on Earth. Blue whale calves are between 4,409 to 6,613 pounds at birth and gain about 250 pounds per day until they become adults, weighing from 200,000 to 300,000 pounds. And you thought we had a weight problem. Death by PowerPoint is a term relating to the intense boredom of useless PowerPoint presentation. That's why my presentations are always powerful and straight to the point. Just thought you might like to know. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Thanks to Albert Einstein. And that's a wrap for this week's Tech Talk and Beyond. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for reading, watching, and listening.
Well, thanks, Bob. That's very interesting. I'm sure we'll have some questions in the Q&A about AI. Very hot topic right now. Speaking of a hot topic, we have Internet of Things devices. We all have, I don't want to tell you how many IoT devices I have in my house. I'm sure Bill James has a lot in his house, and they're all usually powered by a communication protocol called Zigbee or Z-Wave. And that's all changing now because we're changing, and the new communication is through a software called Matter. And Bill's going to talk all about Matter today and why it matters. So Bill, thank you for your presentation, and let's see what you have to say. I'll get it going here.
Okay, so you've got all these smart home gadgets, you know, the ones that promise to make your life easier and more connected. Hi, this is Bill James, Tech for Senior. You have lights that you can control with your voice, thermostats that learn your schedule, speakers that play your favorite tunes with a simple command, and the works. But here's the catch. All these devices come from different brands, and each one has its own app. It's like having a remote control for every single appliance in your home. Frustrating, right? You end up juggling multiple apps trying to remember which one controls what. It's a mess. That's where Matter comes in. Think of it like a universal translator for your smart home. Imagine if all your devices could understand each other, no matter who made them. Matter is a new standard that helps all your devices speak the same language. It's like teaching them all to communicate in a common tongue so they can work together seamlessly. No more headaches trying to get your smart lights to work with your smart assistant. With Matter, you can use one app or voice assistant to control everything. Imagine telling your smart assistant to dim the lights, adjust the thermostat, and play your favorite playlist, all without a hitch. Matter makes it all just work, seamlessly. It's like having a well-orchestrated symphony in your home, where every device plays its part perfectly. No more tech headaches, just a smooth, connected experience that makes your life easier and more enjoyable. So, whether you're a tech enthusiast or just someone looking to simplify their home, Matter is here to make your smart home dreams a reality. Remember the days of trying to connect a printer? It felt like you needed a degree in computer science just to get it to work. You'd spend hours fiddling with cables, drivers, and settings, only to end up more frustrated than when you started. Yeah, setting up a smart home could be like that. The promise of a seamless, interconnected home was often overshadowed by the reality of endless compatibility issues and confusing setups. Which hub do you need? Is this device compatible? Ugh, the sheer number of hubs and protocols was enough to make anyone's head spin. You'd buy a new device, excited to add it to your smart home ecosystem, only to find out it required yet another hub or wasn't compatible with your existing setup. You'd buy a smart bulb, only to find out it only works with one specific app. and that app might not play nicely with the other apps you were already using. It was a constant juggling act, trying to keep everything working together, or you'd spend hours trying to connect your smart lock to your smart speaker. Frustrating, right? You'd think it would be as simple as pressing a button, but no. It often involved multiple steps, firmware updates, and sometimes even a call to customer support. It was like each brand was speaking a different language. One device might use Zigbee, another Z-Wave, and another Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Trying to get them all to communicate was a nightmare. You needed a degree in tech just to get your smart home working. The manuals were often written in technical jargon that was hard to understand, and online forums were filled with people experiencing the same issues. It was a common struggle, and it made the dream of a smart home feel more like a distant reality. But when you finally got everything working, it was like magic. Lights that turned on with a voice command, locks that secured your home with a tap on your phone, and thermostats that adjusted themselves based on your preferences. It was worth the struggle, but oh, what a struggle it was. Thankfully, things are getting better. New standards and protocols are making it easier for devices to work together. The dream of a truly interconnected smart home is becoming more attainable. But let's not forget the journey it took to get here. The struggle was real, but the future looks bright. But fear not, fellow tech enthusiasts. Matter is here to simplify things. It's a common language that all your devices can understand. Imagine buying a smart light bulb and knowing it'll work with your existing smart home setup, regardless of the brand. That's the power of Matter. It's like having one remote control for your entire home theater system. No more juggling apps or dealing with compatibility issues. And the best part? It's not just some pie-in-the-sky idea. Major players in the tech world are already on board with Matter. We're talking about companies like Apple, Google, Amazon, and Samsung. These guys are putting their weight behind Matter, which means it's here to stay. This widespread adoption is key to Matter's success. The more devices and platforms that support it, the better the experience for everyone. So, what's in it for you? Okay, enough about the tech jargon. Let's talk about how Matter actually benefits you, the user. First and foremost, it means easier setup. No more struggling with complicated pairing processes or digging through menus. Matter devices will be instantly recognizable by your smart home system. Just plug it in and it works. Simple as that. Imagine this, your smart home, but smarter. But it's not just about convenience. Matter also unlocks greater interoperability between devices. Imagine telling your smart assistant to dim the lights and start the movie, and having it all happen seamlessly. Your smart home becomes a truly connected ecosystem where devices work together in harmony, all thanks to Matter. Security matters too. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about security? And it's a valid concern. The last thing you want is your smart home turning against you. Well, Matter has got you covered there too. It incorporates robust security features to keep your data safe and sound, so you can enjoy all the benefits of a connected home without worrying about your privacy being compromised. The future is connected and simple. With Matter, the future of smart homes is looking brighter and simpler than ever. No more walled gardens, no more compatibility nightmares. It's a future where you can buy any smart device knowing it'll work seamlessly with your existing setup. A future of true interoperability. This means more choices for consumers, more innovation from manufacturers, and a more connected and intuitive smart home experience for all. It's more than just hype. Look, I get it. There's a lot of hype around new technologies, and sometimes it's hard to separate the hype from reality. Every day we are bombarded with news about the latest and greatest innovations, each one promising to change our lives in unimaginable ways. It can be overwhelming and it's easy to become skeptical. But trust me on this one, folks. Matter is the real deal. This isn't just another flash in the pan or a passing trend. Matter is poised to make a significant impact on the smart home industry. And here's why. It's a game changer for the smart home industry. Imagine a world where all your smart devices, regardless of brand, work together seamlessly. No more compatibility issues, no more juggling multiple apps to control your home. Matter makes this possible by providing a unified standard for smart home devices. It's backed by the biggest names in tech, including Apple, Google, Samsung, and Amazon. These companies have come together to support Matter, ensuring that it has the resources and expertise needed to succeed. This level of collaboration is unprecedented and speaks volumes about Matter's potential. It addresses real consumer pain points. We've all experienced the frustration of dealing with incompatible devices and the hassle of managing multiple apps. Matter aims to eliminate these issues, making smart home technology more accessible and user-friendly for everyone, and it has the potential to revolutionize the way we live. Imagine a home where your lights, thermostat, security system, and even your kitchen appliances all work together harmoniously. This is the future that Matter promises, and it's closer than you think. So don't dismiss it as just another tech fad. Matter is here to stay, and it's set to transform our lives in ways we can only begin to imagine. Time to upgrade your smart home game. So, if you're thinking about dipping your toes into the world of smart homes, now is the perfect time. With Matter on the scene, you can invest in smart devices confidently, knowing they'll stand the test of time. Look for the Matter logo on the box. Embrace the future of connectivity. Embrace the simplicity of Matter. Your smart home will thank you for it. This is Bill James, Tech for Senior. Thanks for watching and listening.
Well, thank you, Bill. I'm sure there will be lots of questions in the Q&A, and we will. I've got a bunch for you as well, so hopefully very interesting. And I wonder, as we move forward, I guess we'll be seeing Matter on all our new IoT devices, right?
Yes, the new Nest thermostat is the first one that I'm aware of that's embracing that.
Cool. So I guess we'll get into this in the Q&A, but I guess when the Nest is installed, does that just seamlessly install Matter on all your other IoT devices, or will they have to all come with that?
It has to come, the Matter software has to be built into the device, and
Okay.
it allows it to connect to other protocols.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Okay, then. All right. Excellent. So we'll keep your questions and we'll deal with those in our Q&A. All right. Now we're going to move into the second of a video series I'm making. And on Tech for Senior, we try to balance we try to be something for everybody. So we deal with Windows issues. We talk about Apple issues. And we also talk about Chromebooks. I haven't made a Chromebook video for a while. So this one is called Purchase Consideration for a Chromebook in 2024. And it's there's two videos. The first one I'll play, and then there's a short one that I'm going to play after, and I'll explain that. So this is all about Chromebooks in 2024, purchase considerations for a Chromebook in 2024. In this video, we're going to cover the changing requirements of Chromebooks to meet AI expectations, why you should only buy a Chromebook Plus, and the confusion big box stores have in labeling Chromebooks. I'm Ron Brown from Tech for Senior, and today we're going to talk about purchase considerations for Chromebooks in 2024. Last year, I made a video about purchasing Chromebooks in 2023. I'll put the link in the description, and I would encourage you to watch that video before watching this one. Today, we're going to focus on the three issues I discussed at the beginning. Those issues are very important to consider before purchasing your new Chromebook. I have been a passionate user of Chromebooks since they left the school system many years ago. I currently own a Pixelbook and had the opportunity for 3 years to make a series called Learning Chromebooks with my partner in Tech for Senior, Huey Poplock. I'll put the link below in the description. I think there's a lot of good information that you might want to watch if you're a new Chromebook user. But sadly, my Pixelbook is coming to the end of its days and I'm looking for a replacement. There are certainly a lot of choices on the market today. And to help you with that, I'm going to refer you to a website called Chrome Unboxed, where Robbie Payne reviews most of the new Chromebooks that are released. These are very good reviews, and he makes some excellent suggestions. If you're new to Chromebooks and you're just wondering what to purchase, it's an excellent resource for you. Now, currently in 2024, Chromebooks with their sophistication have become a replacement for your desktop PC. In looking at the various choices you have, it is important to set a budget, and I believe the budget should be set at somewhere between $300 and $500 US. More to come on that in a moment. I would like you to be very careful about purchasing refurbished machines that you'll see on Amazon. Chromebooks originated in the school district and still remain a very popular choice. The school districts will usually lease these machines from leasing companies who build them with specific goals for the age limit that they will be used for. The problem with this is when the leasing time is over, these machines are put up for sale and often refurbished and sold either on eBay or Amazon. These machines often have limited functionality with either a few external ports or low-res screens. These will not be a suitable machine to be an alternative for a PC. So be very careful with that. Yes, you can buy a $99 Chromebook, but I don't think you'd be very happy with it. Now, I wanted to take a moment to discuss the future of Chromebooks, which I feel at this current time is uncertain. In my goal today, I want to give you the best advice for purchasing a Chromebook that is going to last for a number of years. Let me explain what's happening with the changes in the computer industry. Now, you've heard of something called AI, or artificial intelligence. This has changed the way we use computers and certainly the way they're made. And with the new Qualcomm Snapdragon chip that is in the new PCs, this is offering a whole other level of support for artificial intelligence. Now, in order for Chromebooks to stay relevant, they too are going to have to change quickly. Yes, I understand you can use artificial intelligence, Gemini, ChatGPT, or Copilot on your Chromebook. But that's because this software is run in the cloud computing. But as we move forward, it's going to be run locally on your hard drive. So will Chromebooks be able to make the change quickly to stay relevant? And that really is the question. I suspect Google already has some thoughts behind that because of some changes they've made over the past year. And let me discuss these changes now, because this is really crucial on your purchase consideration. So in September of last year, I made a video called Purchase Considerations of a Chromebook in 2023. And 1 week before I made the video, Google announced the designation of a new class of Chromebooks called Chromebook Pluses. And I'm going to put the specifications on the screen here, but these are the specifications a Chromebook must have before they're designated as a Chromebook Plus. I suspect the reason for this was because they wanted to make it easy if you wanted to buy a Chromebook that was truly a PC replacement. You wanted specific standards, and as long as you bought a Chromebook Plus, then you would have those standards, and it would be an easy way for you, the consumer, to be able to identify those machines. I initially thought this was a great idea and supported it until Robbie Payne from Chrome Unboxed started reviewing some of the OS updates in Chromebooks. And the comments that he was making are like, this is an AI feature only available on Chromebook Pluses. So now we have two standards in the Chromebook world. One is a regular Chromebook and the other is a Chromebook Plus. And as we move forward in the next year, there will be many updates, usually monthly updates, in the operating system. And some features will be available to those who have Chromebook Pluses, and some features will not. So this is why I feel that it's very important when you're considering a purchase of a Chromebook that you choose the Chromebook Plus, which would put it as a higher end on our budget scale. But in order to stay relevant, I think this is going to be very important to do. So when is a Chromebook Plus not a Chromebook Plus? A little riddle for you. This is so important in your purchasing of a Chromebook Plus. Let me explain the answer to that riddle. So my Chromebook is a Pixelbook, and sadly, after 7 years of service, the battery is non-replaceable and starting to give out. And so I'm looking for a replacement, and I have chosen the Acer Spin 714. This past few months, Acer has brought out a Spin 714 Chromebook Plus. Yes, exactly what I want. The Acer Spin 714 has been a top pick on Chromebooks for 4 or 5 years straight with Chrome Unboxed and Robbie Payne's reviews. It is a solid Chromebook and an excellent replacement for my existing Pixelbook. I do want the new version, which is the Chromebook Plus, for the reasons that I just described. Unfortunately, it's not available in Canada. It is available in the US, but not in Canada. I can't find it on Amazon. It's not available on any of the sites I looked at. And I even phoned Best Buy in Seattle, and they will not ship it out of country. So it's not available in Canada. But to my surprise, Costco on their online website in Canada has a Acer Spin Chromebook Plus. I was ecstatic about this and so pleased that I would now be able to get my computer. Now, Robbie Payne in this diagram here is explaining the difference between the old Acer Spin 714 and the new Acer Spin 714 Chromebook Plus. These are two distinct different machines, and the newer model, the one I want, indeed has a different chipset. Again, I'm trying to hedge my bets on what's going to happen with Chromebooks. So I want to make sure that I get the Chromebook Plus. So to my delight, as you'll see in this Costco ad, it says definitely a Chromebook Plus. I ordered it. I was excited, but I was skeptical because Costco usually doesn't get current models of machines. They're usually a little bit older. So when it arrived, despite having the clear label on the invoice that it was a Acer Spin 714 Chromebook Plus, it was not. The box did not say Chromebook Plus on the side, and the Chromebook Plus designation wasn't on the machine. I phoned Acer, and they ran the serial number, and it was the old model. This was clearly mislabeled. Or was it? In this diagram, you'll see Google's site that lists Chromebook Plus designations to older models of Chromebooks. So if you have a Chromebook that is a year or two old and it meets the specifications of a Chromebook Plus, Google will designate it as a Chromebook Plus on this list. So if Google designates your machine as a Chromebook Plus, because it meets the specifications, then it doesn't matter how old it is, you theoretically should get the updates from you should be able to get the OS updates on a monthly basis. That would include the AI ones. Well, we're not sure about that because the architectural of PCs had to change quite a bit to allow this to happen. And I suspect in Chromebooks that will be the same. So I feel Costco certainly mislabeled that, and I'm sure glad of their return policy because it got returned the next day. So here's my advice to you. Make sure when you purchase a Chromebook Plus that it is definitely on the box stamped Chromebook Plus, and get the manufacturer to run the serial number and confirm that it is a Chromebook Plus when you get it. I think this will give you the best chance of getting a very modern machine that will last into the future, depending on what happens with the future AI on Chromebooks. Now I'd like to talk about lacrosse. No, not the sport lacrosse, but project lacrosse. If you are interested to know more about it, I'll put a video link down below, as I made a video about lacrosse. So in a nutshell, lacrosse is a project that Google had for Chromebooks, and it was to separate the Chrome operating system from the Chrome browser. As you are aware, the Chrome browser on a Chromebook is embedded into the operating system. And as the Chrome operating system gets updated every month or so, then the Chrome browser will be updated at that time. But in actual fact, those of us who have PCs as well note that the Chrome browser often is updated every week. They're very aggressive with the updates, so it is dissimilar, and the version numbers never match the Chrome browser on a PC with that of the Chrome browser on a Chromebook. So what happened was Google decided to separate the Chrome browser from the operating system. And you could turn on this as an experimental feature, and it was called Lacrosse. And that would put the Chrome browser as an app on the surface of your Chromebook, which would be different from the operating system. So they would update at different times, and the Chrome browser on the Chromebook would match that of the browser on a PC. It would be perfectly up to date. Now, for whatever reason, I have no idea, but they decided to kill the project. So Lacrosse is dead, and it's not going to be, it's not coming. The Chrome browser will stay as part of the operating system. The reason I wanted to mention this to you is because you're wondering what happens if you've made the conversion. A lot of people watched my video. A lot of people added that as an experimental feature. Now, what will happen with version 128, it will all be turned back to the way it was. I'm not exactly sure what the menuing system will be, but what will happen is you'll do an update and it'll all go back to the way it was. The current version, which this should happen, is version 128, and that's the current version. But I notice on my Pixelbook, I only have version 126. And I don't know if they're holding it back because I have Lacrosse enabled on it, and it's going to take a little time to work through the operating system. I don't know, but it should happen very quickly now, and it will all be converted back, and you don't have to do anything about it. And the last thing I wanted to remind you is if you have a Chromebook and are a lid closure like I am, I never turn mine off. When I'm finished with it, I just close the lid and I open it up the next day. What you need to understand is the Chrome operating system has two versions on your Chromebook. There's A and B. And of course, your Chromebook runs on A, but the B version is the one that gets updated. How it changes from A to B is when you turn the power off to your Chromebook. When you close the lid, you simply put it to sleep. So if you are a lid closure like I am, not a problem. It's just at least once a month, make sure you power off your Chromebook and power it back on, and the switch will occur. I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hopefully you're enjoying your Chromebook usage, or if you're a new Chromebook user and you want to purchase a Chromebook, I hope this video has been helpful. Remember to watch the video I made last year. It has a lot of detail on screen resolution, screen sizes, hard drives, and stuff like that in it. So it's a great video to watch. And as I said, I'll put the link down below. Remember that like and subscribe. If you click that button for sure, we'll notify you when our next video comes out. Have a great day until we see you again. Stay safe. Sorry, everyone. I don't know if you were having some difficulty with the presentation. I think the Zoom servers are a little overloaded right now with holidays in Canada and the US, because it certainly was very choppy and not there. The video's been out for a couple of weeks now, so I'll put the link in the newsletter, and there's nothing wrong with it. You can play it. It'll run just fine, but it seems when over Zoom, it's giving us a bit of problem. I did make a small, one thing I did this week is I cleaned out my storage area here and found out a bunch of gadgets I had that I forgot I had them. And one of them was my Pocket Osmo camera here. It's a gimbaled camera. It's a Pocket 2. And so I wanted to make a video with this and use it again because I haven't used it for a while. So I had a further add-on little short video now just to follow up on what we've discussed. And hopefully this will play a little bit better, but it's not very long. So we'll just try that and we'll see how we make out with this one. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. It's Saturday. No, actually it's Sunday today. And I just finished mowing the lawn. It's going to rain like heck today, and it's going to be rainy for our Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow, so I wanted the yard to be looking nice. But as I was mowing the grass, I sort of thought about some more ideas I had about Chromebooks. I know that we made a video about that you just watched. I had a few more comments that I wanted to add to the video. And I'm just going to stand out here. Hopefully the noise won't be too much from the wind. But I wanted to give you my ideas on the future of Chromebooks. And I suppose it really depends on where you're living in the world. Because as you know, Chromebooks were, oh gosh, probably over 10 years ago, were really designed by Google in the school system in the United States as a competitor to the iPad, which was really a very costly product. They were extremely successful. They had a good success rate with the Chromebooks. The only problem was when kids graduated from grade 12, they wanted to buy these things and they couldn't find them anywhere because nobody made them. So this created a commercial application for Chromebooks, and of course we saw the Chromebooks were produced on a commercial basis and sold at Best Buy, etc., different outlets around the United States. So this worked out very well, and they've grown a long way. I, of course, followed this with Huey and I when we did our Learning Chromebook series. We followed Chromebooks quite carefully. So life is pretty good for Chromebooks. Well, maybe not. As you know, I have a daughter that lives in different parts of the world. She of course has taught with her and her husband have taught in of course Japan. They were there for a year, then they went to New Zealand for 5 years, then they went to Singapore for 3 years. They were in Beijing, China for about 8 years, and now of course they're, as you know, over in Addis, Ethiopia. But you know, the thing that Jennifer always tells me, nobody has ever heard of a Chromebook. And in all the schools that she taught, they're all iPad schools. Nobody's ever heard of a Chromebook. So I guess the problem I'm having now is that as my Pixelbook, which you know is I've had that now for a number of years, I'm looking for a replacement. And as I look at the Pixelbooks and I'm trying to find one, you know, Robbie Payne at Chrome Unboxed has, of course, done lots of reviews, and there's lots of really cool models, lots of really interesting things happening and developing with that. As I said, AI is coming, and Chromebooks, of course, last year developed sort of two classes. One that was the Chromebook, and the other was the Chromebook Plus. Now, the Chromebook Plus models, of course, are pretty plentiful in the United States. But as you saw in the video, they're not really available in Canada. In fact, the Chromebook Plus models, such as the new Samsung that just came out, and also the one I was looking for, the Acer Spin 714, Chromebook Plus is not in Canada and doesn't look like it's coming either. So the companies that are making Chromebooks really are putting these in the U.S. market. Chromebooks are really a U.S. product, and that's fine. But if you are looking to purchase a Chromebook in different parts of the world, you may be not finding the ones that you want because they're not marketed there. They're really only marketed in the United States, which is of course a big market, but sad if you're trying to find a model that, of course, trying to find a model that isn't there. Now, what's going to happen is that this is going to be really important as we move forward with Chromebook Pluses, because if you want to keep using a Chromebook and you want it to continue to develop as we see happening with AI and with AI and PCs, you'll need to really get a Chromebook Plus, and this will be important. But again, these are probably going to be very limited depending on how the companies that make these machines are going to market them, and that can be a big problem. So I just want to let you know and add this. So I've got to get back and finish up the lawn, and hopefully this video turned out not too bad, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Bye now. All right, I'm sure I see there's a bunch of questions in the chat, and I'll answer those in our Q&A. Bob, are you ready for yours?
Here's a quick Tech for Senior tip. Did you know you could use Gemini to extract text from an image? Let me show you how that's done. Start a new chat or a new prompt and place the following in that prompt. Please extract the text from the following image. And the image that I'm going to be using is in an email, so let me open that email to get to the image. Here's the email. I'm going to do a right click on the image, and I'm going to just say copy image. I don't need the email anymore, so let me get this out of the way. Now, next to the prompt, I'm just going to insert. So I will paste, and it'll be that image. Now the image is in here. So next, I'll submit that, and let's see what Gemini does with it. And there's the text, but I'm not quite happy with that. I want to go one step further. So my next prompt is simply to say, format the text so the saying is in quotes and in a single line. Let me submit it, and we'll see the results. There's the saying surrounded by quotes, followed by the author. That's exactly what I need for my output. So you can use Gemini to extract text from images. Who knew? Nice and simple. Give it a try. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching, reading, and listening.
Thanks, Bob. Excuse me. All right, let's I guess we got to say goodbye to our YouTube friends. It's now time to move on to Ray's presentation. If you are over there, you can pop over. You want to participate in the Q&A, you can pop over to the show. Otherwise, we will see you next week. And don't forget about our educational video coming up shortly. All right, Ray, let me just stop the video and take it away.
Today we're going to talk about the life and musical career of Dave Brubeck. Dave Brubeck, born on December 6, 1920 in Concord, California, was a pivotal figure in jazz music. He was raised in a musical family. Brubeck's mother, a classical pianist, began teaching him piano at a young age. His passion for jazz emerged during his college years at the College of the Pacific, where he switched his major from veterinary science to music and formed his first jazz ensemble. Now, after graduating in 1942, Brubeck served in the United States Army during World War II, where he formed the Wolfpack, one of the first racially integrated bands in the military. Post-war, he studied under French composer Darius Milhaud at Mills College, who encouraged him to blend classical musical elements into his jazz compositions. Now, in 1951, Brubeck formed the Dave Brubeck Quartet, which gained fame with the 1954 album Jazz Goes to College. The quartet's most famous lineup included Brubeck, Paul Desmond, Eugene Wright, and Joe Morello. The 1959 album Time Out, featuring the track Take 5, became a best-selling jazz single. Brubeck's music was known for its innovative time signatures and rhythmic structures, pushing the boundaries of jazz. He seamlessly integrated classical, blues, and folk music into his compositions, making jazz accessible to a broader audience. Throughout his career, Brubeck was a staunch advocate for civil rights, refusing to perform in segregated venues and using his platform to speak out against discrimination. His 1961 album, The Real Ambassadors, created with Louis Armstrong and Carmen McRae, addressed issues of racism and promoted equality. Brubeck received numerous awards, including a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1996 and the Kennedy Center Honors in 2009. His compositions such as Blue Rondo et la Turque and In Your Own Sweet Way remain jazz standards. Even in his later years, Brubeck continued to compose and perform, releasing his final studio album, Indian Summer, in 2007. He passed away on December 5, 2012, but his music and legacy continue to inspire musicians and listeners worldwide. Thanks to Dick Vogel for suggesting Dave Brubeck. If you have a musician or band you'd like me to focus on, leave the name in the chat, and I'll do my best to meet your request. In the chat, I'll provide the YouTube link for today's selection, Take 5, which I've edited so it would meet our time constraints. And again, thanks to Dick Vogel for making that suggestion.
Ray, my favorite jazz musician. So thank you.
Oh, okay. Good.
Thank you. You hit it. And my favorite musical piece as well, Take 5. You just nailed it today. I'm so pleased. Thank you. Thank you.
That's what I get paid the big bucks for.
Thank you. You read my mind. Scary thing. Anyway. All right. Thanks so much, Ray.
Okay.
We're now going to move into our Q&A. If you have to take off, don't forget we have our video coming up at 1/2 I'll be talking on passkeys. Bill James is going to talk about Copilot, and I'll also be talking about a charge 6. I'm sorry about the recording today on that period that I did at the Chromebook session. It really was painful. At least it was painful for me to watch it, and that is a Zoom issue, and that has actually been published for a couple of weeks now on our YouTube channel. It runs fine. There's not a problem. So I'll put the link in the newsletter tomorrow, and if you want to watch it or use it for further reference, you can certainly do that. I had some questions I'm going to answer before we get into the questions. Some questions about the video, and I'll just address those. There was a question about, I had mentioned turning your laptop off and turning it back on to switch and update your OS. And yes, you can do it manually. I mean, I just didn't want to get into the complexity of that. And I've done a lot of videos on how to update it manually. It's very easy to do, but you could just do it manually as well, rather than turning the power off and on. But if you do turn the power off on, it does automatically switch those for you. We had a question about, what is a Chromebook? Like, did these laptops, are they PCs? What the heck are they? I go into that a lot in the video I made the prior year, and that's why I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not going to discuss that here. The link is in the description in that video, and it references back to the one I made a year ago, which I go through all the styles of Chromebooks and so on and so forth. So it's all there in last year's video. Mike Saunders asked about Chromebox box, and he said, I understood that a Chromebook met the specifications, it would get the plus enhancements. Well, Mike, that's the $1 million question. And I'm telling you, I don't believe that. And I think there's going to be some big problems here, because Robbie Payne has already started to do reviews on the new Chromebook Pluses that have come out. And he usually starts the videos by saying, this is only available on a Chromebook Plus. And, the chipsets are different. The chipsets are different than, take that Spin 713 that I'm looking at. The old model, the one that was not a Chromebook Plus, is a different chipset. Even though, yes, the old model will get the Chromebook Plus designation, will it actually do what is coming in AI? And if you're going to buy one of these, I'd like to get at least 5 years out of it, with knowing that I'm going to be being able to update it and get all the features. So I wouldn't. And the other problem is the Costco. There's a Chromebook at our Costco store now that it's big sign. It says a Chromebook Plus. It's not. It's an old model. It's an HP Chromebook. Yes, it does meet the specifications, but it's being built 4 or 5 years ago, and yes, it's a fast machine, but it's not a Chromebook Plus. And well, it is according to, you can go back and Google site and say, yes, they'll give it the designation. But I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think as we move forward here that you want to buy something that has an old chipset, because we don't know what's happening and what changes in the OS are going to occur. So I want to hedge my bet. And that's why I said in the video, and that's the reason I made that video, was you want to hedge your bet and get the best deal that you possibly can. And to do that, you want to make sure that it says Chromebook Plus stamped on the box, or it says it's stamped on the machine. Or you can phone, like I phoned Acer and got them to run the serial number just to make sure, and it wasn't a Chromebook Plus. So those are why. And Mike says, will Chromebooks come with an NPU chip? Well, that's the whole point, is as we move down this AI road, what Bob was talking about, changes are going to change, big changes are going to happen. And so that's why I'm just saying you need to hedge your bet with a Chromebook Plus. All right. Any questions?
Mike had his hand up.
Mike, did you have a comment or question?
You answered it. Thank you.
Okay. Bill James, I have a question for you. Are you? Yeah. So I have a question, Bill. With Matter, we talked a little bit about that, and I guess
I'm here.
yeah, so Matter, so okay, I buy a new Nest thermostat, it's got Matter on it. Is that going to seamlessly connect with all my other devices as an add-on, or how, if I guess,
Yes.
are we
One of
ultimately,
the problem.
are we going to have to change all the devices? Is this a long-term thing that we're going to, as we go, like all our Echoes and all my Amazon devices and all the different devices I got in my house, are all those ultimately all going to be replaced with Matter, or will Matter just say, hey, we can now attach to my Echo device and I'm just going to install that and make this all work a lot better? Like, how's that going to work?
That's the whole idea, from what I understand, is that you won't have to replace anything. It's just the compatibility between devices. A good example was the Nest thermostat was not compatible with Apple
Oh, yeah.
home. I can't remember what they call
The home, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So you couldn't use a Nest on the control it. You had to jump through some sort of hoops to get it to work. But now is that when you had to use Google Home in order to get it installed. But now with Matter, it will automatically convert so that you can use the
Well, yeah.
Bob, have you got?
So how is it going out there?
The heck is the?
Well,
It's Drew's.
I'm just finishing up the program, and I've got my hand up so that I can.
Oh, I think
try
it's
to
Jim.
ask
Let me
that
just mute Jim. There we go. I'll mute Jim. Okay, go ahead, Bill. Hello, Bill. Yeah, I think Bill's having trouble with. Yeah, Bill's having trouble with. All right, let's do Carl. Go ahead.
Okay.
I thought there was
now is that when you install the Nest and you have Apple. I'm
I
here.
guess I'm being stepped on.
Yeah, just hold on.
Audio-wise.
Bill's finishing off.
I feel like it was bait and switch, because I thought Bill was going to talk for two reasons. The first reason was I thought he was going to talk about Copilot, but I think you're going to talk about Copilot in the next session.
No, Bill's going to talk about Copilot, and I'm going to talk about passkeys.
Oh, okay. But it'll be in the next Tech for Seniors in 20 minutes or so, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the other reason I thought it was bait and switch, because I didn't recognize Bill James' voice. So
Oh, you didn't?
Fancy going on here. Suspicious.
You're a little suspicious, are you? Yes. Well, good news that Bill and I have been working on it this weekend. So Bill has his natural language back. And so his next videos will be having his voice in them. because of course I sort of like that voice though, Bill. It gives Bill a sort of a little bit of aristocracy there. He's I'm not sure if he's sort of but anyway,
Yeah,
Carl will.
how much does David Attenborough charge for his narration?
Yeah, that's
Well,
a lot of money. A
well,
lot of money.
I really love Carl. I really love that voice.
Yeah, you should be
Well,
able to
I
get
would-
that. You should be able to get that
I hate to
voice
give it up.
computer one.
I like your current voice better, and I was trying to discern if it was a New Zealand accent or maybe a
No, it's British.
English Canadian combo
It's
accent.
English.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
you'll be hearing my natural voice next time.
Thank
I have it
you.
all worked out. So
It's very confusing when you expect certain things, and you get a nice deep voice. Don't change it.
well,
There
thank
you
you.
go, Bill. There you go. But that's good. We got you covered on that. We'll have his normal voice back again. Any other questions? Anything that we have talked about? Any Chromebook questions? This was a Chromebook sort of day, and I wanted, because we haven't done a Chromebook thing for a while, largely because my Chromebook, my Pixelbook just isn't getting updates anymore. And I just, even though this comes back to Mike, just coming back to what we said earlier, even though it's designated as a Chromebook Plus, well, not, I guess it is in a way, it's just not getting any updates anymore. So I don't get any of the new versions to report on. Jim, go ahead.
I have a question from my wife. She has a Samsung S24, and she's having a terrible time with getting her messages. Half the time she can't see them, or putting them together so she can send a message out. And I was wondering if anybody has had that problem or if you got any suggestions.
So, Jim, when you say messages, what do you mean by messages? Are you talking about a text message coming in?
Yes.
Are you talking about a text message through your cellular service, or are you talking about a text message through like Facebook or something like that? What exactly are you talking about?
SMS.
An SMS text?
Yeah.
And she's not getting them on her phone, or she can't. Well, Carl's got an S24. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, but I wanted to ask a question. But
Okay, well, hold on. Let me just deal with it. Does any Huey, do you have a thought on?
Yeah, there's a problem with SMS and talking to an iPhone, or an iPhone talking to SMS, because iPhones are RCS.
Right.
And there are some things in place now to correct that. There's a setting that you can tell it to automatically determine which one it needs.
Right.
But that's probably the issue, is which kind of phone and what type of text message is going back and
Well,
forth.
she has a Samsung S24. Jim, would the problems be, would she be not receiving text from someone has an Apple device and sending it to her? Is that the problem?
Well, it's not just that. It's not just Apple. It's just messages in general.
All right.
You can hear the blue language coming from her, because it's so frustrating. She doesn't get messages, and we get a lot of supposedly receiving a lot of messages, and they're just not showing up.
All right. What cell phone provider are you with?
Verizon.
Right. I would think that if you're not receiving these texts, that probably is going to be, since it's an SMS texting, it's probably an issue you should talk to Verizon about.
Yeah, I suggested that, but
Yeah, and there's a setting for it to automatically switch on the Samsung, and I can't remember off the top of my head how to get there, but I'll try to look it up and send you something, Jim.
But Jim, that probably is a good idea to I would drop by the Verizon store and just talk to them there, and they should be able to have a look at it and see what's going on. Could be something wrong with your account or something like that.
okay. She'll appreciate any help she can get.
Sure.
It's going she really is pissed because she had the Samsung Note 5, which worked perfectly.
Right.
And now with this S24, she's having all these problems.
Right. Okay, that would be my suggestion.
Okay,
Carl,
I'll follow up with that. Thank you,
okay.
guys.
All right, Carl, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wonder if anybody, Bob G or Drew King or whatever, have heard of this benchmarking software called Geekbench 6. It's by a company called Primate Labs or something like that. How about you, Huey? Are you familiar with it? It's a benchmarking.
What's the name of it again?
It's called Geek, Geek, bench, one word, BENCH 6. That's the latest version. It's a benchmarking software, and they have versions for Android phones and everything. It's very impressive, but I mentioned Bob's name because they have a free version and then they have a paid version, $99. You have to look into it. I'm blown away by it, but I'm always leery, Bob, when something's for free. I get a little antsy, like, what are they capturing from me? You know?
Nothing's for free.
Right.
You don't pay with cash, you pay with data, but nothing's for free.
Right. But at any rate, it's a very impressive software. And there's another software, it's a YouTube video it's about updating all of your apps. And I don't have time to do the name of the video, but I'll try to supply it next time. But it's excellent. It's a PowerShell base. You use command line and you type it in, the command line, and it will list all of your apps on your phone, and then you can do an update of all of them, do a run or whatever.
I prefer Patch My PC.
Well, I'm looking real quick. I thought I could find it. Shoot. I put this darn Bit Defender on my phone and I said yes to everything. And every time I change my screen, it wants me to do my password.
Geekbench is posted with links in the chat. They also have a benchmark checker for AI, which might be interesting to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it's YouTube, it's a Facebook I know it's a very long email address, Facebook address, but it's, facebook.com/r and then / the whole long stream, but it's a software that will update all of your apps on your phone if you want to use it. It's very impressive, but I like the benchmarking much better. That's for me. Any rate, that's it. The one that geeks, what did I say? Benchmark or whatever. That's really, I'm blown away, but I'm afraid to download it because it is free. But I'm told it's used in the, in the commercial world a lot, and there is a paid version of it that gives you updates.
Right. Just so everybody is aware. I mean, I'm at least on my Pixel phone. Is it when you go to software updates, you can see which apps, whether the OS is up to date or whether the apps are all up to date, and that's all embedded in the iOS or the Android 14 software. It's there, and so there's really no need to have to get yet another third-party software on there. And I think that Bob's going like this, and I think we're saying, look, this is already there. It's built into the system. Don't go and potentially add something that could be putting stuff on their ads and all of the other things that you don't need, because it does that for you right now.
Under system updates, you have two choices: operating system and app updates.
Exactly.
And you can do all of them right in your phone now. You don't need to install anything.
And Bob, what about CCleaner?
What about it?
I heard that it's very good for doing updates on your various apps or for upgrades.
I don't use it for updates. The only thing I use CCleaner for is to clean out garbage. That's its
Yeah.
primary function.
All right.
I don't
any-
like to add anything to any operating system. Doesn't matter which one. If it's already operating system already has something built in it. Why add when it's already there?
Good point.
All right. Any more questions? If not, we will say, I want to thank everyone for coming today. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. And don't forget, we do have a show on Thursday. Drop by and see us on Thursday. And don't forget, we'll be here back the same time, same place next week. Want to thank all the presenters today. Thanks, Bob. Thank you, Huey, for coming and being here with us in difficult circumstances. Thank you, Bill James, for presenting. And thank you, everyone, for being here. We will talk again in a few days, I guess. All right. Have a great long weekend and enjoy life, and stay off of Zoom because Zoom's having trouble. They're slowing down today. Anyway, talk soon. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.